Hi guys, I know it's been a while since you've seen me, but today I want to talk about Halo and how great Halo is. Halo is an amazing series, a staple in gaming culture, and it's probably one of the greatest shooters of all time. The original trilogy is amazing. It's probably one of the greatest series of games ever produced by anyone. But I'm not going to be talking about those games today. I like these boring schmucks over here. I'm going to be talking about my personal favorite, and in my opinion, the greatest Halo game by far, which is Halo Reach. So sit back, relax, get your nice cold cup of water, and let me educate you on why I think this game is a flat-out masterpiece. Halo Reach is technically the first game in the series, while also being the last. It was the first game canonically, but it was sadly Bungie's last game that they developed on for the series. After the success of Halo 3 in 2007, Bungie said they weren't going to make any more mainline games and instead focused on two excellent spin-off titles. Games that didn't put you in the shoes of John 117, essentially. ODST and Reach. Reach was focused on the story before the Chief came swinging his cock around, and ODST was focused on stealth and forgot about Spartans entirely.
Welcome to Reach.
Reach's story is simply that you are the new guy on the block, a Spartan team noble. So these badass super Spartans that are the best at their job. Their goal is to ultimately preserve Reach at any cost from the terror that is the spooky warrior guys. As the story progresses, you remember the delivery job of the package being the thick-ass AI Cortana. But as the story continues, a very depressing pattern begins to show. At every main mission, another member of Noble Team dies or sacrifices themselves for the team. Except this Chad, he's the only one that managed to have his ass saved, but it makes you grow as a team at the start and to develop relationships with the characters throughout the early missions. But then cuts those relationships just as quickly as one by one your team is being mercilessly, I can't speak for shit, killed. I think it develops characters well through the missions and makes their death impactful even though the period of time to build these relationships is short. I feel like the high point of the campaign is the last mission by far. I think it's by far one of Bungie's best examples of level design. After abandoning your team and handing off the package, you respawn in a desolate area with one objective only: survive. There's no other goal than to survive the oncoming hordes of Covenant. It disempowers the player for once in the Halo series, and it's done amazingly well. You as a player know you're going to die, and you cannot beat this mission. No matter how long you hide, how perfect you play, you will lose. The cutscene will play the same, you will die. I feel like that last mission completely encapsulates the whole mood and tone of Reach. Fighting knowing you're going to lose, but not going down without a fight. It's the most depressing game of the series, but it gives insight and makes the super Spartans like Master Chief, who are fighting fucking countries worth of Covenant, to more real, relatable people instead of just badass super soldiers. Throughout the whole mission left and right, you can see bodies of other Spartans who attempted the same goal as you and failed. And you soon realize that you become another one of them. The last cutscene is also a great send-off to the character, acknowledging them even if the face is forgotten. The campaign is honestly extremely under-talked about and not appreciated as much as it should be. But you know what is talked about and shitted on a lot is the... Now, the multiplayer in my opinion isn't perfect, but it's still just as good, if not even better than the newer games. The main gripe people have with the multiplayer is that the gameplay isn't the same and that the abilities ruin the game. I think abilities were a great gameplay mechanic and it followed the same push and pull the previous games did with equipment. For example, Armor Lock and Sprint. Armor Lock gave you advantages up close because it would stun the enemy player and prevent them from damaging you, but it also lacked in your mobility. Now here you have a push and pull. The push being the lack of mobility, it gives with a pull being you can stun enemies and get an easy kill. Sprint follows as well. Its push being that its use is extremely limited and its pull being increased mobility. I think it wasn't as bad as people complained it out to be, and that still wasn't completely broken. Its new game modes like Big Team Battle were phenomenal and always action-packed. Also, Firefight was heavily improved upon and added a great game mode for multiplayer. Also, Forge was greatly improved as well and continued on using Halo 3's amazing theater mode. The game had the most features out of any of the games, and haven't even gotten to my personal favorite feature would be the first implementation of a more expansive Spartan customization. Unlike Halo 3, it wasn't just basic body parts with only 5 or more armor sets. It was more in depth with the armor pieces were customizable and had way more armor sets than its older brothers. Also, the menu screens are by far the best in the series. Like, come on, look at that and tell me that isn't the best. Just look at that. The music can't compare to the level of the originals, but holds up just as well today. The art style was a little more going away from simplicity and heading towards a little more realism, but it finds its middle ground in between the two that I personally adore, and artistically I think is one of Halo's best styles. Overall, the game isn't quite nearly given enough credit for the amount of content they packed into it. The game plays like a charm. The missions can go from sniper stealth missions from full-on nuts and butts action within seconds, or you can go from a flying helicopter and go into different outposts and see a brute DJ boogieing down. The AI is the best the series has seen by far. Bungie made it in a way that the rank of the elite you go against correlates to how tough it'd be to kill them, which makes scenarios where you think, oh fuck, that was Elliot, in comparison to seeing a normal elite. The game world follows its own rules and bounces off what you did. Every gun feels snappy and the new ones are great additions. Like the needle rifle or the concussion rifle, it adds new gameplay possibilities and makes the game a joy to play. Also the maps, like come on, Sword Base, Boardwalk, or the beautiful landscapes of Forge World, or even Reflection. The gameplay still holds up today, and it feels just as fun as it did 10 years ago. My biggest complaint, however, would be its credit system. It was shitty and unfair. The only real way you can get it was through matchmaking. Firefighting Campaign gave you crumbs of hobos' meals and credits. I'm glad the MCC port got rid of that system entirely and just made it a lot easier to get armor pieces. Halo Reach is a game that shows the depressing side and the losing side of the war to save humanity. Its story is only rivaled by the legendary Halo 3, but its characters are more than just another NPC soldier you see on the battlefield. They develop into people, but they are taken away just as quickly as they are given. It gives a sense of dread and sets the story in a way that Halo never reached before. This game maybe wasn't as officially or even culturally liked, but I think it's all bullshit and that this game is amazing as any of the original games. But to wrap this all up, I want to show you one last thing. This being the Remember Reach commercial. Hope you enjoy as much as I do.
Rated M for mature.